Oh, sorry. Hello and welcome to Budget Life. I'm Chloe.
And I'm Chip.
Everyone knows that payday is the day when you say to yourself, oh, I'm paid, I can afford to do this, buy this, go here. But the reality is all of the costs mount up and you end up feeling like all your money is gone.
On today's show, we have some tips, treats and romance all lined up for you. Tonight we are celebrating date night. All of your favourite bits of a date made easier on you and your wallet to make it.
Coming up, we have life hacks on how to use what you've got to make life a little easier. Some may even be an icebreaker.
Reviews for the best places to go on your date. After that, we were lucky to have our chef Nathan Bateman preparing a beautiful cheesecake that will impress. I hope we get to taste it.
After watching Nathan make this delicious food, we have Linday 5 standing in for our money-saving man Gareth Screech, who unfortunately cannot be with us live in the studio. Let's begin with some news, shall we?
When we say news, we don't really mean news headlines. We mean daily deals and offers from various places.
Yes, that's right. We have scoured the internet for some of the best deals of the day in all areas of interest.
First up, let's talk travel. You can get a 4-day to Mallorca for £92 per person. This includes flights, hotels and transfer via bus. This is found on the website holidaypirates.com and is a Thomas Cook deal. You can travel from various airports that range between Gatwick, Manchester, Birmingham and certain airports in Scotland.
So when are the dates?
Well, actually, this deal is only available for various dates in April 2015.
Wow, what a great deal. You better get in there quick. Next up, we had a look at the Amazon daily deals. For today, you can get a SanDisk 64GB USB for $11.99. That's 59% from the original retail price. However, this deal ends on the 30th of March. You can also get from Amazon an X Mini 2nd generation capsule speaker for $9.99. This is a great deal at 50% off the original price. This deal ends on the 1st of April.
If you're struggling to get to your date's destination and you don't want to make a bad impression by being late, Amazon have a final deal for you. The TomTom Via 130 EU GPS unit has 53% off and is down to $69.99. This will save you from getting lost.
Next up, we have Voucher. It's always advertised on TV as a great way to save money on things you like. All you need to do is go on their website and you get daily deals sent to you via email. Here are a couple that we have found for today. How about a romantic night out? Voucher have a deal for a 3-course Italian dining experience for 2 at Romanos in Kensington. You will have saved up to 55% and the price is just £19. This means you can spend more getting there and have a really romantic meal.
If you're looking to take a date away for a night or two of romance, you can get a 4-star stay in Berkshire with breakfast included for 2 at the great price of £59. This is 54% off the original price.
Wow, what a great place to take your partner or date. If you want to know more about any of these deals, email us on budgetlife@hotmail.co.uk or tweet us at @life_budget and we will send them through at the end of the show. Now that's it for today's news. Next up is life hacks. Everyone's seen life hacks online. They use everyday household items to create things that can be useful, funny food that tastes tasty and things that can be made instead of spending loads.
That's right, and what we've decided to do is not only test these life hacks, but also show you the best ones and how easy and cheap they actually are to make. As tonight's show is date night, we'll be trying to base some of these hacks around that. There may be a few that seem a bit odd to start with and that they don't relate, but we feel in some odd way they might actually help. Let's begin.
Can you and your partner never decide where you would like to go for some time together? Write all of your ideas onto separate pieces of paper, fold them up and put them into a jar. Whenever you're ready to go out to your next date, simply pick out at random.
Make sure you do 2 different jars like we have here. One for day and one for night. So you don't end up getting one that says go to Fort Park when you're wanting to go out in the evening. If I were to write, I don't know, if I were to write one, I don't know, I'll put going go-karting and I'll put mine in the day one. How about you?
For me, it would be an evening one, so tapas dinner with drinks after.
It's not bad. So then what we do is we put our ideas into the jars, and then when we want to go out, we'd pick them out. So do you want to pick one out and see what we get?
Yeah, see what we can have a go. In the night one, Dominoes and rubbish TV.
Well, sounds like a good idea to me. However, next up we have a great way for you to light a candle without burning yourself. All you need is a stick of spaghetti.
If you light the end of the spaghetti with your match, it saves you from burning your fingers, as matches are short and sometimes the wick doesn't catch light.
We like the idea of ease of use here on Budget Life, so we thought this would be quite a good one. It is also something funny that your date or partner might find funny too. If you don't have a cookbook holder, get a trouser hanger.
I'll grab that for you.
And then if you get your book, I'll take that one. Then if you get your book, all you have to do is clip it like we do here, and then you can hold it up and hang it off a cupboard or anything you can that's about eye height.
It's good because not only will it keep the page open, but you can also hang it at eye levels so you're not bending over or struggling to see it from where you are cooking. Next, we have a great way of cooling your drinks without the watery excess getting from your ice cubes. When you're sat at dinner with your date or partner, if you're having some white wine, why not freeze some grapes? They will keep your drink cool, but also not water it down.
When you're cooking for your date, the key thing is to make both your dishes look impressive and make yourself look like an experienced cook and make it fun. We have a couple of suggestions that could help make the evening just that.
Firstly, when preparing the meal and chopping onions, you don't want to look like a wuss. So if you chew gum while you chop it, what will stop you from shedding some tears?
If you're making, not get an old ketchup bottle, clean it out, leave it to dry like we've done here. Then add your pancake mix into the bottle. This will give you a no easy to apply to the pan. Then all you have to do is rinse and reuse.
That's a great way to reuse bottles, and it will make your life simpler, but will also impress your date by being inventive. The classic fruit to go with a date night is strawberries. These could be going on your pancakes or used in a different dish, but we found the best way to get the stems out, shredding the strawberry from a knife, is using a straw.
If you place the straw on the stem, press down as far as you want to go, then put it back up. It will end up leaving it with a perfect circle. Well, after all, presentation is everything if you want to impress.
Last but not least, out of our life hacks is if you're following a recipe on your phone and you need someone to put it so you can see what you're reading, why not use a pair of sunglasses?
Sunglasses?
Yeah, it's not as daft as it sounds actually. Like, it's pretty simple. You can just hold it, and what you can do is put it in front of you facing away and make sure that the legs are closed. And then what you do is you place your phone on it, and you can do it in different sort of ways, and you can put it there with your book, easily make away, and it's not any hassle at all, so you just cradle it. Well, that's all we have time for on today's life hacks. If you want the list of done today, please tweet us at @life_budget or email us on budgetlife@hotmail.co.uk. Next up, we have some reviews that we recorded earlier with Chip.
Have you got a date coming up and no clue where to go? Then have no fear, as I'm going to tell you where to go. Each place will be rated out of 5. First up is Frankie and Benny's. It is located in Aldershot, Camberley and Guildford, which makes it very accessible, and it is also walking distance to the cinema in both Aldershot and Camberley. The pricing for the menu is affordable, where you'll be looking at an average £12 per main. They also offer a lighter menu, which is smaller versions of some of their more popular dishes, which are for a 3-course meal for 2 people, including 2 drinks each. You'll be looking at just over £40 bill. The quality of the food is good. You definitely get your money's worth. You'll consistently get a decent meal each time and have some good service. However, when going there on weekends and around holidays, the service will take longer. The only good thing is that there is no time limit you can stay for. The 1950s Italian-American themed restaurant lives up to its image on the menu. It brings a collection of popular dishes, which means everyone will find something to enjoy. Although the menu isn't frequent, it doesn't introduce many new dishes, it still offers a wide variety. The atmosphere of the restaurant is cozy. It sticks to its roots of being an American-style restaurant, and its collection of period pictures and creates an enjoyable atmosphere. Overall, for Frankie and Benny's, I have ranked it 4 for location, 4 for price, 4 for quality, 3 for selection, and 5 for atmosphere, giving it an overall 4 out of 5. Second is Nando's. The all-chicken Piri restaurant is also located in Aldershot, Camberley and Guildford, and it's walking distance free. The pricing is incredibly affordable, with it being roughly £10 for a main, which includes 2 sides. The bottomless drinks is a great feature here. At the end of the night, you'll be expecting to pay roughly £30, which includes a starter, main, and drinks for 2. The quality at Nando's is okay. You are responsible for ordering your own food and drink throughout the evening. This does take away. You could be stuck in a queue waiting to order. But the standard of the food makes up for this, as the meals are freshly prepared and cooked to order. Now, the selection at Nando's is the biggest letdown. It's monopolised with chicken. Whilst you can choose from a total of 5 different marinades and levels of spice, it doesn't take away from the fact that you only get chicken. The menus frequently new sides or starters or even new chicken plates. Finally, the atmosphere. The restaurant decorates itself with a warmly lit ambience and collection of South African artwork. However, the atmosphere in this restaurant is sadly like the artwork, doesn't stand out and blends into the walls. Overall for Nando's, I have given it a 5 for location, 5 for price, 2 for selection and 3 for atmosphere. This gives it an overall score of 3.5 out of 5. Next under our spotlight is the cinema. In this category, we'll be rating the cinemas out of 5 in categories of location, price, comfort, selection and atmosphere. The first cinema I'll look at is The View. The View is located in Camberley's The Atrium, of restaurants, a bowling alley and a multi-storey car park surrounding it, which makes it prime location and accessible. The pricing for this cinema is moderately expensive. However, student discount, so if you have a student ID, it is recommended to bring it. The food and drink on sale is also expensive, which can add to the cost. The screens offer a trio of to get comfy in and settled in, and are far apart. The VIP seats, which are located in the middle of the room, which are better than the bean bags, but are difficult to remain comfy throughout a long film. And finally, the standard seats, which have great legroom and are comfy. View also offer 3D versions of some of their films and a hard of hearing audio descriptive alternative. And finally, the atmosphere in the as the cinema has smaller screens that make the screenings seem more personal. The seats are on a sloped floor, so you don't have your view ruined by sitting behind a taller person. Overall for The View, I've given it 5 for location, 2 for price, 3 for comfort, 4 for selection and 5 for atmosphere, giving it a total of 3.5 out of 5. Hopefully these decide where is good to go and where isn't. Next week we have some more reviews that will help you to keep money in your pocket. But before then, luckily for us, we have our chef making us.
So tonight we've got a sweet treat for you to enjoy.
It's going to be delicious, and we've got Nathan here to show us how to do it.
Thanks, guys. We're going to be making a delicious cheesecake, which comes in at £1.23 per serving. The recipe serves 2, so that's a total of £2.46, give or take a few pence.
Very cheap. Wow, that's incredibly affordable and a lovely idea for a homemade dessert for a date. Making the effort is worth a lot, actually.
Plus, this wouldn't miss in a professional restaurant.
Yeah, exactly. I could see it, definitely. But you show us how it's done.
Right, so the ingredients we're going to be needing are, some shortbread biscuits, we're going to be needing some sugar and berries. We're also going to be needing some soft cheese, lime juice. Right, so to start off with, we're going to be needing the shortbread biscuits, and we're only going to be making one, so we're only going to need 2 shortbread biscuits. But if we're making 2, then we're going to...
Yeah, when you're making 2, you need to just double the ingredients.
Yeah, it's really simple. There's no hard maths or anything, just...
Doubling.
Doubling,
Just
yes.
doubling.
Right, so...
And is this what it's going to look like at the end of it?
And yes, that is what it's going to look like at the end of it.
That's really tasty.
Yeah. Right, so with the shortbread biscuits, we're going to put it into the bag. So, and we're going to be using this.
Don't hurt yourself.
I'll try not to. So what you can do with a rolling pin is you just whack the shortbread biscuits until it's a fine crumb. So, like so.
We're just standing back from this
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's dangerous.
This is going to be mayhem.
Yeah, I don't want it flinging out of your hand and hitting Chip in the head now.
I'll try not to. Okay, so...
So how come you...
well, the reason why we're using the bag is if it wasn't in the bag, then, well, it would just go everywhere and we'll lose half of the shortbread. So this way it keeps it nice and contained and, yeah, it's just simple.
And you don't always have to use shortbread as well. You can use, like, because obviously the most traditional one I know is digestive biscuit.
Yeah, digestive
cheesecake.
biscuits works absolutely fantastic. Any type of biscuit, really, whatever suits your fancy.
Mm. I did one actually when I was at DT. I did food technology when I was at school, and I used ginger nut biscuit instead. And I think, I think I used a lemon or something on the base. Really good, really tasty actually.
Oreos might go well with this, like if you add a bit of a chocolate vibe to it, maybe put a bit of vanilla in with the cheese.
Yeah, Oreos would work. And like,
see, now I'm just thinking of an Oreo milkshake. I'm craving an Oreo milkshake right now.
Well, we've got cheesecakes coming up.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting a taste of this.
Right, so now we've got the shortbread biscuit here. It's in a nice fine crumb. And now what we're going to do is we're going to put it into this glass here. So get it here and just gently place it in there.
Do you need a hand? Or are you okay?
I think I've got it. It's not going all over the place. That's all right. Oh, no it is. I lied. And there we go. It's all in there. Right, so now we've got a nice layer of shortbread biscuit. We're now going to be moving on to the actual cheesecake part. Nice bowl. And half of this soft cheese. So open it like so. And we're only going to be using half of this.
So it's actual cheese you're putting in the cheesecake?
Yeah.
Isn't cheese like savoury?
Well, it is, but like the cheese you're thinking of is like, well,
cheddar.
like stuff like that. Brie.
Emmental. Is it Emmental?
Something like that, yeah. And so we've got about half of the cheese in here, and what we need now is we need some sugar. So we can have 1 spoonful of sugar in there.
Don't go too powerful. Literally, it went out.
Oh yeah, sorry about
It's like boosh.
And then we're also going to be wanting some lemon zest. Lime zest.
But you could use lemon zest in this.
Yeah, you could use lemon zest. Any type of fruit. Oranges, lemons, as we said.
Cherries, strawberries.
Cherries. Choice, yeah.
I mean, obviously you can't zest it, but it's a nice fruit to have. Like, I like a good cherry cheesecake, but I'm mostly popular with strawberry.
Yeah, that would work. Right, so with the lime zest, we're going to leave it in there like that. And we're also going to be needing some lime juice, just to...
Is that not going to overpower it a bit?
Don't you need that in the berries?
No, it goes in here. So we're just going to put a tiny bit in, just half a cap, like so, and then plonk it in there. And now we get to mix it all up. So make sure it's nice and smooth.
Just don't.
I'll try not to get on myself.
It's the best part of cooking, though.
Yeah, but it's the problem when you have with icing sugar. Just as soon as you open it, it's like powder everywhere.
Yeah, but you know you're cooking right if you're making a mess. If your kitchen is clean when you finish cooking, you know you haven't done a proper job.
Yeah, that's true. Like, if there's no ounce of icing sugar on the table, there's just nothing there.
Yeah. And the good part about this is if you still have some in the bowl after you've dished it up,
I
Just out of the bowl.
always eat out of the bowl.
Yeah,
Every time my mum makes a homemade cake, I'm literally like, I'm licking the bowl at the end. Lily and Harvey try, like my little brother and sister, they try to, and I'm like, no, it's mine.
Right,
You
so
can have the spoons.
right, so after we've mixed it all together, it's going to be nice and smooth, like so. And now what we want to do is put it into our glass with the shortbread biscuit. Or this can get a little messy, but you just
It's all part of the fun, though, isn't it?
Yeah, all part of the fun. And so, just to help you out, get another spoon and just place it in there, like so, nice and gently, so it doesn't go all over the place. Make it nice and professional, because this is like a romantic meal you want to be serving, so it's got to look presentable.
That you sort of, it makes it a lot posher, and then you also get the different layers, like you would in any fine dining restaurant.
Yeah.
You'd be able to see the different layers of the cheesecake.
Yeah. So as you can see, what I'm doing now is I'm just spreading it around smoothly, so the cheese just settles into the biscuit, and we just create a nice layer, so it's consistent.
That does look really tasty. Do you want to put a bit more in there, though?
Yeah,
like I do like a good
I'll
chunk
put a
of
little
filling.
bit more in there.
You want to make this good.
Just scrape it all out.
I mean, come on, you're impressing a date here, you know.
That's not ever really been my forte, but food is always a good thing to impress. So
As long as you can cook something, that's always
Yeah.
impressive.
And you're making this really well, so you must have impressed some.
Yep. Yeah, so it's not too bad. And I'll just try and get a little bit more
Okay.
in
Then we
there.
need to start doing the juices.
Yeah, we'll start doing the juices just a little bit more.
Okay.
So, right, now we need to go with the
want to put that
actual
down there?
berry juice.
Sure.
So what we need
Do you want to put that in the
is,
bowl down there?
we're going to be needing that, and we're going to need some berries, a handful or two, just bung them in like so, like that. And we're going to leave some to the side so we can decorate the top bit. And also what we need in here is some sugar. So we go boom like that. And now is the fun part. We get to use the...
Just go for it.
Oh,
Blend it.
Yeah, we're just
go
gonna
for it.
We'll stay.
Okay.
Get it in there.
Okay, so what you do, just blend it up so it's nice and smooth.
So is the sugar just to sort of counteract?
Yeah, it counteracts it a little bit. You don't want it to be too overwhelming. But
I think that looks good.
right.
Yep, just put it in there.
So
That's quite nice. It's quite like a jammy sort of consistency.
yeah. So now with this, we've got to put it into the
Just pour it in.
flask like that. So pour it in. Try not to get it on the sides, like so.
Oh, that looks so... No, that looks good.
Just spread it out a bit
perfect.
more.
That was literally perfect.
Perfectly done.
And tiny bit more.
And then
So.
what do we do with these?
And with them, we're just going to decorate on top, so it looks nice and fancy. So just grab a... You can decorate to taste, and there we have it. A nice cheesecake.
Beautiful, that looks
So
really lovely.
Can you eat that right away, or do you need to leave it at all for any time?
Yeah, we can eat it right now, or if you prefer, you can put it in the fridge for a few minutes, and it will be nice and cold.
Wow, what a great looking dessert. As you've made this dessert, how about you take a taste and give us your opinion?
Right, let's find out.
I pray for you that this is good. Oh, and you've
That
got the
looks
biscuit.
really nice.
And I've got the biscuit.
That's
Oh,
a good.
go
That's
for
like,
it.
that's like
Nice
the
bit of that,
perfect spoon.
and
Nice?
that's very nice. Yeah.
Lovely. Right, later on today, we will be testing our cooking skills and making our own. Chip and I are going to head see his cake, and he is going down. If you want a copy of the recipe, you can email us on budgetlife@hotmail.co.uk or message us on our Twitter account at @life_budget, and we will send you the Budget Life cookbook with all our recipes after the final episode has aired.
Well, thanks, Nathan. We'll be seeing you again tomorrow for more cooking treats. Next up, we have Linde Fife standing in for Gareth Screech, who couldn't this evening in the studio. Linde will be giving us answers to the all-important money questions and tips and tricks on how to save money. Ooh. So, Linde, money is a massive part of all our lives. Why do you think people struggle to talk about it?
Well, Chip, the biggest problem is that the taboo in society, it's a personal thing. And it's also a way that people compare themselves against others by sharing how much others. You can feel very much like you're at risk of losing a few pegs in their social standing.
That makes a lot of sense. I know I only like talking about money when I've got more. So why is it important that people look for help when experiencing financial difficulties?
Well, the key thing people need to do is to think about the reason for the lack of money. Is it that you didn't get paid as much this month or this week? Did you spend extra money without thinking about the implications? Or is it that you struggle to organize your funds and budgeting? Sometimes it's a simple issue. You know you spent too much in one area in your finances and afford to spend less somewhere else. It can be resolved easily though. A lot of the time, it's small mistakes here and there and can lead you to big problems, and they add up over time, and this is when people need to ask for help. I mean, to fix the little issues, to get things back on track, there isn't shame in it. It happens to all of us, even the low income earners. So, for example, students get a big stress and make mistakes, and people get embarrassed, and it just gets worse, Chip.
So payday loans are a big thing recently. Solution to consider?
Well, payday loans are a big deal because a lot of companies trap people through misinformation. People don't know what they're getting. That's a big problem. Understanding the purpose of the payday loan is key. Payday loans aren't a long-term solution. They're a short-term solution. So, you know, the law has made it clear that they're short-term instead of long-term. I mentioned earlier, if you've spent a little too much money somewhere else next month and put yourself on track. What we need to consider is the tough financial situation in the long term. It's understandable when money is short, and you know, at times it's a big stress, and sometimes you need the money, and it's not there. But people need to think long term about whether they can afford to pay the money on the interest rates that they're on next month or next week, or you know, they just need to think before it gets much worse.
Okay, so what are the solutions for people?
Well, Chip, the first thing to consider is to talk to someone. It's always good talking to someone. It doesn't have to be someone you know. There are a number of great services that you could talk to. The Money Advice Bureau for one, and that's free as well. That's free. The Which Money Helpline, which just costs £1 subscription for 1 month, and that's a good choice. Some banks offer their own personal money advice. The above can be really helpful in understanding where your problem is and to offer help where you need it. And to it's not something that can be remedied without, you know, an influx of money to stop it getting worse. I recommend that you speak to a family member or a friend who may be able to help you in your money problems. It's not easy doing it, but it helps when you first notice. And the problem can be much better than needing to ask a lot further down the line. If you do arrange through a friend or a family, it's very rare that they'll ask for interest. But always be clear about it. It helps. Always be clear about it. Make sure you have a written yourself and the person, family member or friend, to say when you pay it back or how much you're going to pay back.
There are quite a lot of things to consider. Why is it so tough to pin down a solution?
Chip, it always depends on the situation. There isn't always a clear way to cut the problem. Sometimes it can be an expenditure wasn't expected, or sometimes you get a little bit carried away on the Saturday night out. But the problem isn't always easy, and no financial problem is ever easy. What you need to do is accept that it's going to take time to resolve, and that's part of the process too. It's especially important to understand that you may have to make numerous forms of this problem before it gets worse. What seems like a lot to deal with at the time, usually not anywhere near as stressful as, you know, when things get out of control.
So are there any preventative measures people can take, some kind of system to reduce the chances of these kinds of problems?
Well, Chip, I'm glad you asked. There are a number of things people can do to get themselves in a better financial position. The key thing to understand is understanding your financial position. That's always key to building an honest report to yourself, being honest with yourself about how you are, and building an honest plan on how to improve it. Some things are simple, like considering whether you really need that product, or even going for the alternative or cheaper product, or even working more hours at work. You know, others take a long time, and such preparations, such as creating a monthly budget or a weekly budget, can really help. And yeah, that's how, you know, it can be done. Talking to a financial advisor such as myself can really help, because we have the knowledge that you need in your financial worries.
So there's a lot people can do track. And I believe you're with us again next time to go through some of them more in detail.
Oh yes, I am. I'll be going through how to create a follow a budget, just from as simple as keeping track on income and outgoings, on others such as spreadsheets. Work out how you are earning and deducting tax and expenditure, and just working out clearly exactly how much disposable income you have. And we'll look at how these budgets help. It's simply knowing how much money you've got and actually understanding the cost in your life. But you need to understand how much money you actually have to spend.
It's a good thing you mentioned that. Now we are going to look at some tweets some guys have sent in. First up, we have a tweet from Katie. She says, I've got a payday loan out. I can't afford the repayments and as expected. What can she do?
Well, the best thing you can do is to talk to the company. Talking to the company really will help. You can talk to them about when you can actually repay the money and how much you can afford. The best thing is to be honest and explain with them, and you know how much you can afford, and offer to have a deal with them. Goodwill gesture, and it means they'll have to actively help you resolve the situation. The one thing you shouldn't do is take out another loan to pay this off, because doing that will lead to you owing more to someone else, and that will start a cycle which is tougher to break. If you really have trouble, speaking to the Citizens Advice Bureau is a next course of action, and you have to try to they will try to resolve it by going to the company, speaking on your behalf, and you know, offer just basically telling them that it's in their best interest to help you.
I hope that helps you, Katie. We've got another email in from Darren. He says he's got some he borrowed some money off his, he's got some financial issues, and he's worried about telling his parents about it. How can he go about telling his parents?
Well, Darren, it's a tough situation to be in, and it's not going to be an easy conversation. The first thing you need to do is to write out how much you need, why you need it, and how and when you're going to pay it back. And you need to be honest about the situation. Being honest and admitting where you have done things wrong will show that you're trying to improve and you don't want it to happen again. Also, by having it written out and you're willing to sign an agreement shows you're going to back out. The good thing about parents and family is that they care about you and they will support you the best they can. I can't speak for your parents, but I would be very proud for you being willing to talk about it and showing you're able to take responsibility, and I hope they agree with me on that.
Thanks for your question, Darren. I hope things do get better for you. Well, I'm afraid that's all we've got time for today. But thank you very much for being with us here today, Linde.
Thank you for having me, Chip.
And Linde will be back with us next time to talk about budgeting and how it can help. Next up, we're going live outside, where we're going to have our cheesecake competition.
Remix. Music that lasts forever. Am I going? Hello. So, right, we're now at the competition table where I am now going to be making my cheesecake. So I'm going to get started on my base.
Okay, so you remember how to do it, right?
Yep, I got my 2 shortbreads and I'm going to put them in there.
Yep.
And I'm going to do my favourite thing, which is bash them. And I'll make sure, you know, I'll stand away.
Okay. Lovely.
I think that would do.
Right.
Now I'm going to put it in my little glass, which I'm scared about doing, but how did you do this? Ah, pressure. I can't get it in. Oh, who cares if it's messy?
It's a bit messy, but oh well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know it's about presentation, but you know, anyway, cream. Right. So, I need half of this.
Well, I'm quite impressed that you remember what you're doing, so
I've got a memory.
it's looking well so far. Chip's going to have to
up his
pull out all
game.
the stops if he's going to beat you.
I'm going to beat him. I'm going to beat him.
Okay.
Right, and then I need this. Lovely. Need some lime juice. Blob, blob, blob.
Did you forget anything?
Sugar. I need my sugar. Right.
Right.
Ah. Oh, sod it. I'll mix it with this. There we go.
Right, that looks good.
Okay. And in we go.
That does look good.
Oh my God, I've still got to make my berries.
Yep. I'll just hand them over there. I'll just put them over there,
Yeah,
ready for you,
cheers, thank
just so
you.
you can get.
All right, neat,
Just some
neat,
help.
neat. Let's think neat. Okay. There we go.
You need to hurry up to do the berries.
Shush. I can do it.
Right, with the berries, we haven't got the blender, so you can have to do it by hand.
Oh, this
with a
is.
spoon.
Oh, what?
So,
This is pressure. Right.
Yep.
There we go. Bit of sugar.
okay, cool.
Just use this one.
Any spoon.
You can't do it without a blender.
Well, you're gonna have to try.
This is just taking forever. There's no jam forming. Right. It's the grapes.
Right, that's
How long
looking
have I
good to me.
got?
That's looking good to me. Right, get it in there.
It doesn't look like a puree. It just
That look absolutely fine. And
This
a nice
is-
bit of decoration on top, I reckon.
There
just
we
to finish
go.
it
5-star restaurant
off. Yep.
style. Wait. K. Yeah, I could serve that.
Yeah,
I think it looks
that's right.
amazing.
Right.
It's got to taste good. Can I taste it?
You can taste it if you must.
No.
No? Okay.
No. But I got to
Okay.
wash.
Having Chip on his turn.
The
The crowd goes wild. Right,
To show up my co-host.
go.
So just go, yeah, just go.
Yeah, just go. There's
Amazing.
the bag.
But she's already used it.
Well,
That's not
you have
fair.
to make deal with that. It's already used.
Oh yeah, good.
I was quite scared. I was quite scared then you were going to hit your fingers.
I'm safe. Don't worry.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
safe when I'm doing
Like,
this.
even if there was a bit of blood, it wouldn't matter because
Oh,
it matches
here's
the
mine.
berries. Right.
But now I've got a hole in my bag, so now I can just do it the other way.
That, wow, that
See?
is good thinking.
See,
It's not the most effective hole.
it's not the most effective hole, but it's the easiest way to do it. Oh, I'll just do it the other
The
way.
easiest way to do it.
Okay. Up later, it's fine.
Okay, what's next?
I get to swiggle it, so it's nice and even.
Yeah, now you've got to do the cheese.
Now I've got to
Yep.
give me a messy bowl as well, why don't you?
I'm sorry. That's what it was there.
So my co-host is cheating by using all of the ingredients as well at the same time.
Yes.
So whack of that.
Yep. Bit faster.
Whack
Go on,
of that.
Chip.
Whack of that. Whack of that. And then
What
I
else?
need sugar. 4 tablespoons.
No, just one.
Just one.
Just
I
one.
like sweet things. What can I say? And a bit
Oh,
of.
fair enough.
Just use all of it.
Yeah, just use all of that. Nice
then
and limey.
Mix it
Oh,
up.
forgot something.
What? Oh, the lemon juice. What
The
if I
lime
did? What
juice, not
if-
the lemon juice, the lime juice.
Well, you could make it with lemon juice, as
Yes,
we
you
discussed
could.
earlier.
But mixing them both together, yes, probably would taste like quite nice, but it's not the recipe, so.
Oh well. So I mix this up, nice and smooth. I'm under pressure now, aren't I?
Yeah, you are a bit.
So that's nice and smooth. Didn't take long. Unlike my co-host.
Right, that's looking good. You haven't got as much.
Yeah,
But
but it's
you're gonna have to make do.
about quality, not quantity.
Okay, that is fair enough, but we'll decide that later on.
Will we?
Yeah, we will.
I think I've decided it already.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the cheese, and then
What now?
bowl with the
The
fruit.
berries.
Oh,
And you've got to mash them by hand.
I am not doing by hand. I have.
Okay, not by
expensive-
hand, but with a spoon. You can do it by hands. It would be like the authentic.
And then you want a bit of sugar.
Yep, bit of sugar. I reckon do it by hand would be quite nice.
No, because I've got expensive rings on.
Uh,
My mum might be watching and she might not like it if I'm ruining her. I see the difficulty. Really, using a blender would be.
it's a lot easier, isn't it?
Or maybe if I had that bag,
Well,
if I hadn't ripped the bag, it might have worked.
yeah.
Well, that's as
It's
squished as it's
it's
going
all
to
right, but I reckon you should quickly get it in the cup.
be. Yeah, that's as squished as it's going to get. It's a bit of a lumpy cheesecake, but
I reckon that's a mash to a better ability than the first one. But yeah.
And then if I just whack.
Okie doke.
And then
So there they are, the 2 cheesecakes made. Right. So I'm going to quickly taste them to find out who won. So it's the first one.
that's my one.
Whoop.
All right, that's all we've got time for on today's show. We'll be seeing you again tomorrow at the same time. If you have any questions, please tweet us at life_budget. I've been your host, Chip James, and Chloe. Thank you.